What's up, everybody? Welcome in to the Big Men on Campus podcast. I'm your host, the Big Men on Campus here. It's 5 o'clock. That means only one thing. It's time to talk about college basketball for Thursday, January 11th, 2017. We'll get at it, try to make some money tonight, and get back to our winning ways here. Having a great season. We'll recap in a moment. Want to welcome everyone out there to the show. If you're out there, please hit the like button and subscribe to the page if you're new. I hope you enjoy my college basketball candor and banter. We'll have some fun tonight and talk about all sorts of different things. So, hit the like button and sit back and let's have some fun here talking about hoops. Do want to let everyone know, if you have the ability, I was on Barstool Radio today. It was fun. I called in. They actually gave me a nice little amount of time to talk. I talked for a while, got to plug my Twitter. I got all sorts of followers, so that was cool. So shout out to all the guys at Barstool Radio. Yeah, Kyle L heard me. There you go. I hate that guy, Blackjack Fletcher. I can't stand that little prick. So I had to call in and smash him because he's talking about my boy Rico. So I got to call in and defend my boy. So if you have a chance, check that out. Did that. And they were actually really nice to me, usually. Usually they're kind of rude to people, but, Dave, KFC, they were all nice to me. So shout out to them. Appreciate it. I'm a big Barstool guy, as many know. I really enjoy Barstool. And like listening to the show every day. So check that out. Kyle Elzarica router. Yeah, me too. Let's get into the show today. Off a loser last night, Southern Methodist University was not able to get the job done and lost the game outright. Big time win for my Temple Owls. Huge win, actually. So we go down there. We lose 0-1 last night, 67-41, 62% on the season, up 21.70 units. So really have been doing this for several months now, and we'll look to keep it up as we kind of descend into March here. Long way to go, though, as we say. So got to stick to the script and hopefully keep it going. Let's get into the show. Let's get into the games tonight. I'll start out with my play of the day. I'll start out with, kind of just my thoughts on some things. Sixers losing currently, but is anybody surprised by that? I'm not. As a Sixer fan, until that clock reads 0 and they win a game, I don't think anything is a sure thing. So yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? Brian S. I'm a big Barstool and SBR fan, but let's be clear. If you want picks and betting angles, you come to SBR, not some bum who's on a 2-week heater. Exactly, Brian S. Thank you. Great point by you. Great point by you. They're a great second half fade. Yes, exactly. But again, I'm a fan of the team, and it's pretty irritating. So what are you going to do? Maybe they could stage a little late comeback here. Thanks, Doug Hinch. All the guys. Not going to shut everyone out. Takes too long. But as many of you guys know, I appreciate your thoughts. Let's get into the play of the day here. Started out with that, and then we'll keep it going. It's interesting today. There's a lot of I think there's a lot of great over situations, but then there's also some concerns with some of the overs. I mean, it's not the perfect. I don't know that there's a perfect storm on any of these overs, and we'll go through all of the ones that I considered, and we'll make those. But again, this play's been staring me in the face since I woke up. It's kind of stayed where I wanted it. It's when you're looking at handicapping situations, it's not. When you look up gambling in the dictionary, it's not a practice that should be done frequently. But I think in a case like this, I have to bet it because I'm going to be irritated if I don't, and it happens like I think it's going to happen. I'm going to lay the number with Texas Arlington here at Little Rock. Texas Arlington's a 9.5-point favorite currently at SBRodds.com, and that's widely available at pretty much every book. Looks like 9.5 minus 105. I'm going to rock with it. I'd expect I think one thing I learned about Texas Arlington in that 2-game losing streak down on the road was kind of some of their issues, but I think it was good for this group because most of the season they've had a lot of success on the road for the most part. They're not necessarily winning the games that they had on the road, but they were playing tough competition and they were holding their own. They went into Alabama, almost beat the Tide, led for 38 minutes of that game. Went into BYU to a tough home atmosphere, beat them. Went up to Niagara, beat them. That's a good win. Went on the road to Northern Iowa, hung with them, played Creighton tough. So, I think what we've seen is they're a good road team. I don't think it's anything that this team has a problem. It's problematic on the road. That road trip they had against Coastal Carolina and App State, they just didn't play well in it. But you look at the latest 2 games since then, their offense is on fire. And that's never the concern with Texas Arlington. Offensively, they're really good. Last 2 games, though, they have been magnificent offensively. Everybody's contributing. Everyone's starting to fulfill their role. And you look at that game against South Alabama, all 5 starters scored double digits. 16, 18, 19, 14, 13. That's real balance. They put up 91 in that game. So, you're starting to see some real cohesion with this offense. And I'm going to tell you right now, a trip to Little Rock, I don't think is going to throw much of a wrench into it. Little Rock is an awful offensive group. They're actually among the worst in the country, 342nd in offensive efficiency. There's only 351 teams, 63.5 points per game, 61% from the foul line, and 31% from 3. So have had major problems scoring the basketball, and they're pretty much average defensively. And I look at this game a lot like I looked at the game, guys. Remember, a couple weeks ago, it was a Friday night, UL Lafayette was playing this same Little Rock team. Went in, got an easy winner, I think won by 18. Very similar profiles, Arlington and Lafayette. So, I used that kind of through my past capping and looked at this game and said to myself, I just can't not bet this. And I think a lot of people might say, if you know anything about hoops, you're going to say, well, big man, why wouldn't Little Rock just say, we're going to take the air out of the ball, we're going to, we're going to go slow, and that's possible. But we have to remember, when Little Rock has the ball, they're efficient, or when Arlington has the ball, they're efficient. Cal Poly tried that same tactic and got run out of the gym. Arlington could play all sorts of different ways. They're a great rebounding team as well, and that's another problem Little Rock has. They're very small. They only have 1 double-digit scorer, and they foul frequently. I just think this is a real poor matchup for this group. I'm going to go and take them on the road here and go with Texas Arlington, my play of the day, -9.5. So if you wish to opine, good luck. But I'm going to go with that one here. Welcome in, Justin Searcy. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Tiger Bob in here. Welcome in. A lot of CAA overs. Yeah, I'm going to get into them here in a minute. Mark Lathrop, student section there for the first time since December at Gonzaga. Good point. But that's so many points, 31. It's look, last year's Gonzaga team, yeah, but that's a lot of points, isn't it? I took UTA after you hinted at it on the morning show. Good. Very good. I think it's the same line, though. I'm only going to bet 1 game a night. Just going to follow big man. Sounds good, Dale. Let's keep it going, buddy. What else do we got here? Thanks, Mark Lathrop. Appreciate it, bro. Mark Lathrop chiming in here tonight. Thanks. Let's get into some of the other games here. We'll start out with some of those CAA overs that people are talking about. And look, it's back to the scene of the crime for William and Mary. We had this over on the second when they played William and Mary, James Madison, and it went over by a point. The concern I have in this one, and my main problem in that game that we had the other night was the game went over, yeah, but it wasn't from a lot of help from JMU. This team really struggles at times to score the basketball, and that's a concern for me tonight. William and Mary is not good on defense at all. They're among the worst. But Joey McClain's out for James Madison, their second leading scorer. So that has me concerned a little bit here. His 10 points that he had in the last game could provide important in this one. It's a high total. You're going to need, you're probably going to need 90 points from William and Mary for this game to go over. I just have a weird feeling. And look, at 157, I was in on it. I kind of liked it. I'm like, why not just go back to the the scene of the crime when we had it before. But, you're taking 12 points a game off the floor that you had the other night. And is William and Mary a good offensive team? Yes, they're very good offensively. Guys, this is a thing to keep in mind as you kind of go forward. In the country, William and Mary, 22nd in offensive efficiency. That's really good. I mean, you're among, the big boys in the country: Duke, Villanova, Gonzaga, Creighton. I mean, that's impressive stuff. So, will they score? Sure. And should this game go over? Yeah. And it's hard to trust William and Mary on defense. Yeah, it really is. I wouldn't trust them to get a stop. But as I looked at this game more, I said to myself, at 157, I liked it. Then I see Joey McClain's out. That's a concern. So I'm going to stay off of it. We'll see how it goes. Should it go over? Yes. Will it? I'm wondering. Drexel, Delaware, another interesting one, another really low total here. A game that Donnie and I talked about on the morning show does seem a little low here. Tremaine Isabella's back, which is a big thing for Delaware or for Drexel. Delaware's a team that has had pretty good success at home scoring the basketball. The only issue I have with these two teams is they have the ability to go cold and not score. But as long as they're average offensively tonight, I don't think this game will have a problem getting over the total. Losing Kevin Anderson hurts, though, for the Blue Hens. Let's go through a couple questions here. Do you like the over in the Drexel game? I just talked about that. Anthony Pinkner, he doesn't play much anyway, so that doesn't really matter. When I tell your play of the day, it loses. Well, then stay off it. Are you a fan of Ken Palm? No. I hate Ken Palm. I just don't feel it's like a tout. Why pay a tout when you can just go find it out yourself? You can go find all the stats he has on your own. And most of his stats, he just puts like catchy titles on them to make them sound more interesting than they are. Trevor Leung, first time listener, like the show. Or I'll take that play. Thanks. Thoughts on the Buckeyes. Thanks for listening, Trevor. Trevor Leung. Buckeyes playing well. I'm really playing well. This looks like an interesting spot to fade them, but I just can't bring myself to do it. Maryland has too many injuries right now. And while off a loss, I would generally fade them here. It's hard to trust Maryland. I mean, they're still talented. They still have talent in that team, even with the injuries. But they're just kind of a walking group. I mean, you kind of feel bad for Mark Turgeon. Every year he has these same injury problems. Someone high level gets injured. It sucks. And this Ohio State team, they really have a bit of an opening here with Michigan State struggling, with Michigan losing the other night. You're starting to see a little bit of an opening here for this group. It's hard to bet against them at home here. But off a big loss, that's always a tough spot. A big win, that's a tough spot. I'm sorry. A couple Summit League overs look good tonight as well. For whatever reason, I stayed off them. IPFW South Dakota was one I had my eye on. Both these teams very efficient from the offensive end. The only worry I have is South Dakota does do a nice job defensively. And they're really balanced. I actually really considered them straight up in this game. Kind of just taking them on a money line to win this game. IPFW is good, but again, I don't think this is one of the better John Kaufman teams. I think South Dakota is the best team in this conference, and this is a big win on the road if you can go out and get it. All you really need to do is flip a coin and you have the ability here. It's a coin flippy game. Also, though, I've mentioned that 1 point on the road thing angle. It hasn't worked well for the favorite. Montana State, Portland State was another over I considered. But Montana State's so inconsistent. I mean, sometimes they look so good offensively. Hall and Fry are killing it. They're scoring 60 points combined. They're making their threes. But, on the road this year, the truth of the matter is they just haven't been that good offensively. They're only shooting about 40.5% a game. Defensively, they're not any good. Neither of these teams get stops on the defensive end. The one caveat is, And here's the thing. Here's what you got to like about this game. Here's why the over might be in play. It's high. Both these teams foul at a high rate, 22 at each. 22 fouls a game for each of these groups. That's a lot of fouls. I mean, you'll probably see 50 fouls in this game. So you're going to have a lot of opportunities for points at the free throw line. It's just the one thing holding me back is Montana State and their inconsistencies on the road. But right now, they're really good offensively. They've really played well on that side of the basketball. The William and Mary game, I think you could see an interesting case where that game's like 85-70. Or like 82-72 or something. And like it's like 155 and just that's it. Because let's be real, guys. In that game we had the other night, I mean, we got pretty lucky. I mean, there were a couple threes late. They just kept fouling. And look, William & Mary shot 52%. Can they do that again tonight? Sure they can. But if they're not shooting well, this is a high total. South Dakota, Fort Wayne, just talked about that. Clemson, NC State. I don't have much opinion on that game. NC State's a very tough team to handicap, if you ask me. College of Charleston, Northeastern. I like Charleston a bit there. Northeastern's really struggled in the underdog role this year. They're on the road. Charleston's starting to get a little bit more healthy, and their defense has looked fantastic. I'm not looking to fade Charleston at home, especially against a Northeastern team that's not good on the dog roll. Tulsa plus 11.5 against Houston. No, I don't really like that. I don't really want to fade Houston at home. No problem, Trevor. Virginia's ceiling is blank. Final Four. I could definitely see that. I think defensively this year, they're unbelievable every year, but this is the best defensive team they've had. We'll see how it goes. If it could continue. I like Guy. I like Jerome. I like their team a lot. I'd like to see one more big. It's a shame they don't have that. But yeah, I think they have a good ceiling. Is St. Mary's a lock? Stop saying lock on this show. No lock talk on here. I don't want to hear it. There's no locks in this game. There's no locks in anything. But St. Mary's is playing well. I mean, they've won 9 in a row. 6 of those games were by 13 or more points. And yeah, they are playing well. The only concern you always have with SMC is, are there going to be enough possessions in the game? I faded them the other day against Pacific. It was too many points, 19. This one, a little bit better. I mean, you're only laying, 13? So, yeah, I'm not betting Santa Clara here, put it that way. The only concern is, will there be enough possessions? St. Mary goes in games and they win 72-61. They're good with that. But Santa Clara is really struggling. How about that? Thanks, bro. That's very nice of you. What a nice guy, Josh, you are. You're very helpful. You're very nice guy. And well, how about that? Josh donates $50. How about that? No, hey, listen. That's very kind of you. I don't need it. I don't ask for that, but you're very helpful. Thank you. Appreciate you listening, man. Hopefully one day we can meet and have some dinner or something. Appreciate all your kind words, and that's very kind of you. But it's not necessary. But I thank you. It's interesting when you stop being a tout. For many of you, I'm a tout. I've been a tout. I'm not anymore, but I have been. I was a tout for a long time, and this is definitely a "what have you done for me lately" business. And as a free user, now that I've started to not sell picks, it's interesting at how much you do for people, and they say thanks, but it's like you're making so much money off me, and it's like, could I charge? Sure, I could, but for me, I've been through that. I don't need to, but it's very kind of him to do that. Obviously, he respects what I do. He respects the time I put in, and that's awesome. What's up, Lucky? How do you do that? You just hit the $ button below the chat box there. Let's get back into the show here. San Diego will pick them against Pacific. Frankly, I don't know if that's a bad line. I think that's probably right where it should be. San Diego on the road. I still think Pacific is a pretty good zone defense, though lately they have struggled. That's kind of a big problem. But they do shoot the ball pretty well. I don't have a big opinion on that game. It's a pass for me. I'm not a huge fan of the West Coast Conference, so I don't bet it. Do you like the over in Citadel? Not really. It's really high. And Samford is still without some of their better players. Wyatt Walker's still out. Preston Parks left the Citadel program. And Christian Cunningham's questionable as well in this game. It's a big total. Is it likely to hit? Probably. Citadel is disgraceful on defense. But, yeah, I mean, it's just a little too high. I feel like they're pegging these totals a little too high for the Citadel this year. And you look, I mean, they're average to the over this year. When the total's over 170, they're 4-2. And Samford will play the way they want. Samford can score. There should be plenty of points. But you got to you're going to have a team probably score 100. So be that where it is. Looks like we got a fake Rico Bosco in here. Yeah, well, obviously you're not the real one. You're an imposter. Fuck off. All right. South Dakota minus 13.5 should roll today. What do you think? You mean South Dakota State? It's important to mention that. Yeah, I mean, they shouldn't have any trouble scoring tonight. I kind of looked at the over in that one as well. Oral Roberts is a team that plays a zone. South Dakota State shreds zones, so that shouldn't be a problem for them tonight scoring the basketball. Oral Roberts, and that's what I said, guys. There's a lot of overs tonight that you like, but there's kind of an issue with some of them. The other team doesn't make free throws, and they don't make their shots consistently enough. And that would be Oral Roberts. And they only shoot about 43.5%. That's not good enough. South Dakota State shouldn't have much problem in this game. They should be able to win by 15 plus, I'd imagine. I get no opinion on Marshall. Belmont, SIU, Edwardsville. Yeah, I mean, I think there's only one way to look at that game, and it's Belmont. SIU Edwardsville is playing well lately, but that's against bad competition. Belmont is it's not the normal Belmont team. They're not unbelievable or anything this year, but they should be able to go in and win by however amount they want. SIU Edwardsville is among the worst teams in the country. I don't think anything at Clemson. I said I have no opinion on that game. Coastal Carolina, Georgia Southern. I'm always skeptical to bet against Cliff Ellis's team in Coastal Carolina. They run a nice zone, an interesting zone. And Georgia Southern's kind of a sleeper in that conference. No opinion. I like both those teams, so for me, it's a pass. Arizona State, Oregon State. Arizona State, where do you go with them? I mean, I love them, but you're starting to see teams kind of figure them out a bit. And as we saw, they have struggles at times if their bigs are out of the game. By the way, Oregon State plays Oregon, not Oregon State. Oregon State plays Arizona. So make sure you guys know what Oregon plays who and what Arizona's play who. Arizona State, Oregon, I don't have much opinion on. I'd lean Oregon, though. I think Oregon's good enough to hang in that game. They're well coached. They watched the tape over the weekend against Utah. Arizona State lives at the foul line. You have to try to limit that kind of thing. I don't have much opinion, though. I lean Oregon. I do like that Arizona-Oregon State game, kind of. I like the over there. Arizona should come out with their heads chopped off, basically. They should be running around like crazy. They were called out by their coach this week. I'd expect a really good outing out of them. And this is a team already that's very good offensively. I mean, at home, they're averaging 89 points a game and shooting over 54%. So they should have no trouble scoring in this game. And Oregon State, for the record, is pretty good offensively as well. I thought this total was a bit low. So out of those two games, I would lean with that over. Iowa, Illinois, another over I considered. Both teams like to run in that game. McCaffrey will definitely oblige Brad Underwood and run with him in this game. Both teams pretty good offensively. Illinois, though, has concerns at times for an offensive end. I like Iowa. I mean, they're a team that can really put the ball in the hoop. And both go quick. Both these teams very high tempo. But, again, there's a caveat. Will Illinois score enough for this game to go over? What are your thoughts on UL Lafayette? Can they keep it close? UL Lafayette doesn't play today, so I can't comment on that. And I know you're making a case to our friend Tweety Dimes, who mistakenly put out the wrong play today, which I don't think there's much excuse for that. As many know, I know Tweety well. I've known him for many years. He was one of the, and that's why, for me, I respect Tweety, because since I came on here in 2009, Tweety Dimes has been on this website. And I respect people that have been OGs in this business. Am I going to tell you that he's the best handicapper in the world? No. Is he a bit delusional at times? Yes. Is he a bit out there at times? Yes. I don't think there's an excuse he can make that the team was wrong. Listen, when you make a play, and for instance, when you're a tout and you make plays, I don't know about anyone else. I don't know about him. I don't know about anybody. But like people like Donnie Rightside, they spend a ton of time. I know I spent a ton of time. When I gave a game out, it was the best of the best. And I knew exactly when it was. I knew every player on the team. I knew everything about the team. It's hard to envision how you make that mistake. It's either you don't bet the game, you didn't have much experience with the team. I like the kid. I always have liked Tweety. I know, like I said, I know him personally. I hang out with him. But I think he gets a bit of a bad rap. I think he means well. I just think at some points he's a little overloaded with the things that he does. And I can't really defend him on that one. Listen, guys, PSA time. It's time to clean out your ears. We talk about this all the time. There are way too many people in this chat that constantly do not listen and ask about games we've already talked about. So, again, clean your ears out here. UNC Wilmington Elon. I don't know how you could back UNC Wilmington. I mean, again, I'm not a huge Elon guy either, but I mean, this UNC Wilmington team is disgraceful to the number. I mean, they're 1-11, guys. They're 0-8 as a dog. They haven't covered on the road this year. I mean, what more could you ask for? And they're awful on defense. Elon should get the job done today. Elon is a much better team than UNC Wilmington. They should win by double digits. But if UNC is effective in transition, they could hang in this game. And they rebound. So that can really kind of keep it a lot closer. But one thing about Elon I like is they don't foul a lot. They're good defending without fouling. They only foul about 13 times a game. That's really good. That's high level there. So they're not going to put you on the line to give you easy buckets. Lean Elon here. Another game that I was interested in, not a total, it was a side. This Western Illinois team playing some good basketball out in the Summit League. I thought when they lost Covington last year, one of their storied players, Garrett Covington, I thought they'd be at the bottom of this conference. When IUPUI left, I thought, okay, Western Illinois, dunzo. But I got to tell you, the Leathernecks have played good basketball this year. Really good offensively. I mean, shooting it at almost 55% at home. That's impressive. You're playing good defensively, and they're facing an Omaha team that hasn't won on the road this year. They're 0-12 straight up, Omaha on the road. They're without Mitchell Hahn, one of their better players. Defensively, Omaha has had major issues. I mean, they're giving up, over 86 points a game. Last couple games, and they're giving up 100 like it's their day job. I like this Western Illinois team. The only issue I have with Western Illinois is the level of competition that they played. And are they a bit of a fraud, maybe? It's got to be mentioned. You look at the impressive 7-1 at home this year. Take a listen to who they played at home. St. Mary's of Minnesota, Calvary College, Eastern Illinois, IUPUI, American, Milwaukee, Lincoln Christian, and Miami, Ohio. I mean, there is nothing there to get excited about. Nothing. So are there 7 of 8 wins fraudulent? Yeah. 55%, is that feasible long term? No. And they won't do it. But tonight, I could see it happening. I mean, Omaha's awful on defense. But you look at coming up. I mean, next week you got Fort Wayne, you got South Dakota State, you got Denver in Denver, and then you got North Dakota State and South Dakota. Western Illinois, I'd imagine it might be time to give them a nice slap in the face, because that's what they're going to get over the next week. They'll beat Omaha probably. They'll beat Oak Hills Christian, whoever that is, another layup. That would be 4 games this year that they've won against Division II or worse opponents. Western Illinois might be the fraud of the century, and they might get out. And you're going to probably get good lines against Western Illinois when betting against them. They're going to be particularly overvalued, I'm sure, in the conference season. So that's one thing to keep aware next week, and so on. We're going to see some, I think, good availability betting against Western Illinois. But tonight, I don't think it's a bad idea to bet against them tonight. Kind of keep riding them until that all ends. I may have to send $100 to Big Man to say hi. He says hi to everyone but me. Yeah, because as always, you annoy me. I mean, you just pick at people. That's kind of what you do. And it's irritating. It's annoying. You're the king of being annoying. So, I mean, at some points, if you just act normal, I wouldn't be annoying. And I wouldn't think you're annoying. Do you like Idaho State and North Dakota? I think North Dakota should get it figured out tonight, but they've had a tough year up there, that group. I mean, really major problems there. I think they're 4-12. They play no defense. I would think they could beat the Bengals of Idaho State, who aren't very good, but I don't put anything by them. LOL, how did you catch me? Because I know they're not playing. I looked at every game, and I know they're not playing. Western Kentucky, Old Dominion. 2 good teams, one particularly good offensive team against one really good defensive team. Jeff Jones will be ready for West Kentucky, but West Kentucky's getting stronger and stronger. They add more depth or more transfers. They're a really good team in that conference. They could give Middle Tennessee a bit of a run. But Old Dominion, they're no spring chicken. Good defensive group there. Tennessee State, Eastern Illinois. I'd probably go under. Both those teams really struggle on offense. Both teams real good on defense. I'd probably look at a stone cold under there. That might be first to 55 wins. Wichita State 23 on the road against Eastern Carolina. I'll be honest. I don't think East Carolina is as bad as people think. I don't put them in I don't think they're as bad as what's a really low level team in that conference. I don't think they're like that. I just don't. I think they have some decent players in that team. And I think the fact that they got rid of Jeff Lebo was helpful for them. They have some good players. I mean, Isaac Fleming's a good player. He played at Hawaii. B.J. Tyson, Kentrell Barkley. They're not awful, actually. I mean, they have a couple guys that can score. But do I want to bet against Wichita State? Not really. Gun to my head, I'd take East Carolina. Gun to my head. If you said pick it or I'm killing you and blowing your head off, I would take the points there. I think they're better than people might think. We got some funny things going on. I'm going to go through all these comments here. Where are we at here? Is Tweety Dines from Philly? Yes, he's from South Philly. Yep. Do you like Austin P, Tennessee Tech under? Or am I high? I don't think you're high, but Austin P is a lot better than they've been given credit. They've done a nice job this year after losing Dave Lewis last year. Greensburg and Eastern Tennessee State. Uh, that's a tough one. I like both those teams. Probably lean Greensboro with the points. Corey Kelly, pay attention, people. Exactly. Thanks. You have to be focused. Thanks. Yeah, I know you do. Some people aren't. Wright State against Northern Kentucky feels like too many. Yeah, that's a big game in that conference. Wright State's got a bit of a chance. Oakland has been disappointing. Does feel like too many points there. But NKU is good. I mean, John Brennan has a really good team there, as always. Might be better than last year's team. I'd figure that that's a close game. Hey, big man, I'm new on here. I just have a few questions. Towson, Washington State, and Old Dominion. We talked Old Dominion. I don't have a big feel in that game. Washington State against Stanford University. I actually think Stanford's pretty good. I think they're a pretty good team. I think they're well coached. We saw on Sunday they could play in big games. And Washington State's really tailed off. Ernie Kent's team's really tailed off. I mean, they had a great start to the season, but like always, Washington State basketball's back to probably being the worst team in that conference. I don't think it's even a question who's the worst team there. They got some good, production early on from like Robert Franks and guys like that. But, the truth of the matter is they just haven't played well. I mean, they've lost, a lot of games. I mean, the only game they've won during, basically since that San Diego State game was against Bethune-Cookman University and IUPUI. They lost UC Davis, Idaho, UTEP, and then they've just gotten crushed in Pac-12 play. So, but Stanford off such a big win, it's going to be hard to kind of get that out of your mind. You got to get on the road to Pullman. So keep that in mind. Towson, I have no opinion on that game. Hofstra's a weird team. Hofstra's a team that likes to go up tempo. Towson's a team that likes to run low tempo. Kind of a clash in styles. When you're betting basketball, betting against what style is going to run rampant, it's kind of a toss-up. So I would stay away. When you have a distinct advantage, I would go with it. But I think that's a 50-50 type of game. That picture of you, Loshak, and Gabe after you won money in the national championship game was money. Yes, it was. It was a really good one. Big man, what site do you bet with? I'm switching. I haven't been getting the best numbers. Well, then you should go to sportsbookreview.com and take a look at what they do. I have a lot of locals, but I have Bet Online, Bookmaker. They're a little bit better. I don't bet on Bovada. But big man, do you favor on betting on small schools? Yes, exclusively. Yes. Don't slag on the L. Lincoln Christian boys. I don't know shit about them. I'm just being honest. They're not a team that is high level. I have no opinion on NC State Clemson. I made that comment 2 different times. Jacksonville State plus 2.5 against Murray State. Really good game down in the OVC tonight. Big game against the 2 best teams in this conference. Big advantage here for Murray in the front court. They should get the job done down low. I mean, John Stark and Murray and Morant will handle the guard position. And Terrell Miller, though, down low is a really good player. And I'm not sure that Murray or Jacksonville State has anyone that can guard him. I like their bigs, Jack States, but Miller's a different animal. Where the Jacksonville State will have success tonight is on the pick and roll. Murray State throughout the years has always been a very good pick and roll offense. Marlon Hunter does a good job against pick and rolls. Jamal Gregory as well. And Drumright too. He's a seasoned player. This is another one of those games where it's a bit of a toss-up. Should be a great game, though. And, I mean, I'd probably go with at home and the points. I'd gun to my head, I'd take Jack State. Matthew Ganley, they don't play today, dude. What do you not get about it? They don't play today, UL Lafayette. Stop mentioning them. What's up, Ibrahim? Thoughts on the UW Huskies after losing heralded recruiting class after the Romar fire and Hopkins hire? I don't know if they'll cover it tonight, but I like them going forward. I think Mike White's a good coach. Or Mike Hopkins is a good coach. I'm sorry. Mike White is at Florida. Hopkins is a good coach, and he'll get that zone going. They have a lot of good athletes there. I like their offense. Should be able to beat Cal and cover it tonight. What's up, Harold? Let's do it. Gonzaga, Portland. I mean, you're grasping for straws on that one. I mean, blow my head off, I'd take Portland, but not really, not really interested. The kennel will be rocking tonight, as they say. Uh, I don't see the line on South Florida. Guys, stop with the whole like putting games out that aren't even on tonight. It's stupid. It's not funny. If anybody does it, they're getting blocked. Uh, Ryan did it once. It was funny. Let's not keep doing it again. Uh, what's up, Michael Vo? Give us a daily message to all the Laval ball haters. Fuck them. Fuck them, fuck them, fuck them. Just a thought for future shows. Maybe the POD should be given at the end instead of the beginning. Just my opinion. Well, then when you have a show, you can do that. People can listen back. If they don't, that's their fault. I don't. I'm doing a show that suits me. That's just how it goes. Jerome Bass needs a 4 pick. Well, I mean, I just went over like 8,000 different games. My play of the day is on Texas Arlington, Chief. We need to get some chicks in the chat. Well, with a name like that, we won't. I mean, how old are you? What are you, 12? Let's get a real legit name. You notice I don't ever say your name because it's ridiculous. It's one of the stupidest names I've ever seen. Get a new name, and then we can probably get chicks in here. But until we do, and you change your name, I don't know about that. I said already I don't have any interest in San Diego. $50 is a donation. Somebody liked the show and donated. Nick Joshua Marchesan was his name, I believe. What's your preferred book for soccer plays? Bet365, Betway, Betfair is pretty good. I have all three of those. But I like Bet365. I've always used it. I'm familiar with it. It has everything I want on it. So I like that site. Big Men on Campus, can you give us some tips on betting perspectives for newbies? Feel free, ask away. I'll answer any questions you have on that. One hard yo. OG Johnson, random question. How someone as dominant as Jalen Brunson going to go late second round and not have not much of a future? Because Jalen Brunson's small. And I'm not saying he's going to go second round. I didn't do the draft yet, but because guys, you got to remember games translate differently to the NBA. Trayvon Duval is bigger than Jalen Brunson. Trayvon Duval is 6'3", and that's why size is huge in the NBA. I mean, there are not a lot of young, real small kids. Jalen Brunson says he's 6'3", but he's not 6'3". I don't think he's a second rounder. I think he's better than people think in the NBA. Matthew Ganley, it was just a joke, but it was already made. Somebody made the joke already. So it's not that funny anymore. Seems like people agree with me, big man. If you want to grow respect, respect your listeners. Dude, again, Chai Picks, when I care about your opinion, I respect everyone. I respect everyone that's nice to me. But if you come in here and say something stupid, I'm calling you out for it. I'm not going to stroke your ego and say, good comment. I'm not going to do it. You come in here and act stupid, I'm going to call you out for it. I'm not going to, send you cookies and give you well wishes. You want that? Go listen to another show. But on this channel, I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to do that on any channel. Yeah, he would stop giving plays after a week. Stick to tennis, cuz you're good at that. Stick to that. Bet365 live betting is awesome. Yeah, exactly. They let you bet on anything, parlays, anything, whatever you want. Already talked about South Dakota. You have to listen to the show over. Big man, do you prefer a unit system or keep bet size constant across all trades? I think I remember you saying you bet 300 a game, but I don't know if that is for every pick. Listen, I think one thing in this business that must be talked about is what people bet is their own business. I'm not sure how much I bet is relevant to you, but would I say to stay with the same amount? Yes. If you're $100 better, stick to $100. I wouldn't be divulging much from that, and try to stay with that the same amount throughout all the sports. What are your thoughts on first half spreads or totals? I don't think they're sucker bets. I just don't do them. Do you think Young from Oklahoma goes first round? He is small. Yeah, but he has range from anywhere. So yes, of course he goes first round. He's probably a lottery pick. I have no opinion on Georgia State, Appalachian State. I might have a dumb question. This is from Twitter. When you talk about your favorite books, you often talk about locals. Is that local bookies? Yes. John, I agree. He does do great work, but he speaks to his listeners as if they're below him. True. And again, let's talk about that. That's a good comment by John. People need to stop thinking that I'm talking below them. You're listening to me. You're asking me a question. I am the professional here. Am I not? I mean, didn't you come to listen to me? Just like if you have your show and I ask you a question, I'll shut up and listen. Like when I call into the radio, I I'm going to listen to what they have to say. If that's disrespectful and I talk down to them or they're below me, I mean, you're listening to me. So, I mean, it is my show, isn't it? So, just answering that guy's question. And Shy Picks, this is why I treat you the way you do. Because you're so all over the place. And this is the last comment I have on you. I'm just sick of you. And as far as you like tweeting at SBR and telling them that if I want a bigger platform, you know, I'm so thin skinned, get out of the house once in a while. What are you talking about? Listen, when I see him again, block his ass, Matt. Block him when you see him on here. You're done on this chat. You'll never be on here again. I'm so sick of that kid, man. It's not even funny. He's a little rat. He runs to people. You're talking about people. He's a little prick. That's what he is. He's a little prick asshole that runs to people. And you hear what Big Man said today. Tomorrow he'll be sucking my cock. That's what he does. He's so all over the place. It's sickening. He's a little prick. He's a little whiny baby that if you don't agree with him and you give your opinion to him, he trashes you. He's probably drunk. That's why he's doing it. He can't handle alcohol. He's like a 12-year-old. I'm sure he'll call me. Hey, I was just kidding, bro. Fuck off. I'm done. I'm done being cool with you. I'm done. You don't know what I do. Run to the house. What are you talking about, dude? I laugh all the time. I just don't laugh at your stupid jokes. So, you know, we see the kind of guy he is. Come on, man. Lucky, you know the deal, bro. We're out there, man. That's what we do. I'm on the blocks every day. Fuck out of here. Burns. You make my commute go by fast. Hey, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for listening, man. Oh, you're right. I did remove you. Well, that's because you kept blocking people that you shouldn't. BMOC, you're the man. I'm at work. Have a great weekend. Hey, same to you, man. Thanks. Great advice for the show, but I never tail blindly. Okay, no problem. Not a problem with that. No, I'm not on with Gabe. Yeah, he does just want attention. That's his thing. That's his MO. Whatever. Won't be the first person to act like that. But that's what he does. He's done that for many years. Back when I had a podcast, he did it. Did the same thing. You don't agree with him? He starts getting talking political and all that kind of stuff. He's weird. Everyone have a great night. Appreciate you chiming in tonight. Hopefully, you enjoyed the candor and banter tonight. Hopefully, we can grab a winner with Texas Arlington minus the points, minus 9.5 tonight. I'm looking forward to it. Other than that, I hope you all have a great Thursday evening. It's supposed to be pretty nice tomorrow in the area. Then it's back to getting cold again. Eagles football on Saturday. Looking forward to the game. I'll be down there. But again, I don't ever leave the house, so probably won't be going. I mean, fuck off. Um, Big Yergs. There's some good people out there. Greg Peterson will probably join me tomorrow. I got to double check with him, but I'd imagine he'll be on tomorrow. So check out for that. I know people like Greg's opinions. We'll get Greg on the show tomorrow. Greg Peterson from VSIN out in Las Vegas. So check in tomorrow for that. Anyways, thanks for the candor tonight, everyone. And again, big shouts out to Josh for the donation. It's very nice. And to all the great listeners out there that, you know, enjoy the show. Thank you. We'll have a great night, and hopefully you do too. By the way, guys, tonight, check it out. If you're around and interested, Ryan, my good friend Ryan, my best friend, him and I will do a Eagle preview tonight, a big time Eagle preview, Eagles Falcons. We'll break down the game every way we can. We won't be objective on it. We will give our opinions truthfully. Ryan and I, both big Eagle fans, will take a look at the game tonight here on the channel. So look out for that. Probably do it around 8 o'clock Eastern. So keep a lookout for it. We'll probably just do it live. It's easy enough. So everyone have a great night. Check out for that Eagle preview a little bit later. Probably be around 8 o'clock. I'd imagine 8:30. We haven't picked the time. I would say 8 o'clock. Other than that, have a great night. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.